Hey Moo Crew! This week we are calorie counting the food intake of people following the keto diet. The goal of a keto diet is to put your body into ketosis, which is where you run out of sugar to use for energy and start breaking down fat. The more common way to do this is a low-carb, high-fat diet, and that is what we're focusing on today. Compared to other diets, it's possible to lose weight and reduce inflammation pretty quickly with keto, so it's become very popular on TikTok, particularly in the fitness influencer sphere. I'm not specifically for or against any diet. I think it's unique to every individual, what will make you feel energized and healthy. But I am very much against the cult-like mentality that comes with some of these lifestyles, where the only goal is to convert as many people as possible, and shock horror, it's usually for a fee. So as always, this video isn't an endorsement or encouragement towards any way of living, just an objective review of what food intake looks like for different people living by the same guidelines. Let's get started.
What I eat in a day, keto edition. I've been getting quite a few messages asking what I eat since I've been keto. Here's what I ate today. In the afternoon, I had some olives, tomatoes, and celery with peanut butter. Also, whenever I buy peanut butter, I make sure it's literally just peanuts in the ingredients, none of the added oils or anything like that.
For breakfast, she has some olives, cherry tomatoes, and 2 celery sticks for 72 calories, plus a tablespoon of peanut butter on each stalk half for 96 calories each. Usually on keto, people will seek oil-based products to get higher volumes of fat, and this person doesn't give a reason that she tries to avoid it, so I assume it's just a personal preference. I get a lot of comments about diving into skinny talk, which I absolutely will, but before TikTok there was skinny Tumblr, which was just a whole different level, and I remember seeing so many posts about how eating celery used more energy than you took in, so technically you burned calories eating it. I can confirm this is not true. It is 6 calories per stalk.
Later, I had some walnuts and beef sticks. I don't totally recommend these meat sticks because they actually have vegetable oil in it.
She has half a cup of walnut halves for 327 calories, then 2 of these South African dried sausages. They're 35 grams each, so for 2, it's 340 calories.
For dinner, I had some cow's tongue and liver. So good for you, so good. I also had a dressed up avocado and some beef bacon, and that was...
If the video clips ever seem like they end really abruptly, it's just because they've created an audio loop so that the last word they say connects to the first thing they said and makes a continuous sentence. Guys, looking this one up is testing me. I cannot lie. I know it is hypocritical to get the heebies from one part of an animal and not another, but in my mind, anything they would use in an I'm a Celebrity trial is probably not something I'm going to eat. This is a huge bowl of meat, so I'm assuming 2 servings of tongue for 760 calories and 2 servings of liver for 340. The tongue is much higher since about 70% of the calories come from fat. She also has half an avocado for 160 calories, and then finally 3 slices of beef bacon for 60 calories, ending the day on 2,563 calories.
This is everything I ate today, trying to be a little bit more mindful. I'm actually following a keto style diet. For breakfast I had some turkey bacon, halloumi, a tomato and basil salad, some boiled eggs and some avocado.
This breakfast really is pretty similar to what you'd usually expect to see in a vegetarian version of a full English, except obviously swapping the turkey bacon for something like mushrooms. The eggs, avocado, bacon and tomatoes come to 350 calories. So if there was someone not following keto, adding this with some toast would be a great low-calorie breakfast option. But instead she has 5 thin slices of halloumi, which are 80 calories each, and more than doubles the total for the breakfast to 750 calories.
This was so delicious. I could eat this every day for breakfast for the rest of my life. For lunch, I had leftover chicken curry from last night with some broccoli.
She's got about half a head of broccoli here for 115 calories, plus 1 chicken breast for 250. Obviously, we can't know exactly how she made her curry sauce, but I found a recipe from a keto food blogger and it's 112 calories per serving, so I've timed that by 2.
This is the best yogurt. It is so creamy. I had some yogurt and some berries.
For 100 grams of Fage yogurt, it's 93 calories, plus just under 20 for the berries.
I then saw these Perello olives in my cupboard and remembered I can have olives on keto and they are incredible. Stormy got to work preparing the dinner. Look at that concentration. It actually feels really good to be filming normal videos like this. These little clips of Nova made me crack up. She says so many funny little things now, like bye bye, and then she goes open. She literally just makes us laugh every single day. And the day was finished off with a Big Mac salad. I'm not going to lie, this was not great. I didn't like the dressing. It was made with yogurt because obviously we're trying to be better, and it just wasn't the same. But we go again tomorrow, so follow along if you want to see.
Dinner is a huge bowl of Big Mac salad. The salad veg base is about 60 calories plus 125 for 30 grams of cheddar cheese and 260 for half a pack of 12% fat minced beef. I found a recipe online for keto-friendly Greek yogurt Big Mac sauce, and that is 21 calories per tablespoon, and I think she has 5 on there for 105. So the total intake for the day is 2,058 calories, which would put the average woman closer to maintenance than active weight loss.
Everything I ate today, as someone who only eats meat, this is my whole diet. Don't judge. Basically, I wasn't really hungry when I first woke up, so I went to the gym and then I got home, did some things, and then I was like, oh fuck, I forgot to eat. So around 1:30, I had 2 Denver steaks, and that filled me up.
I had never heard of a Denver steak before. It's not a cut that is common here in the supermarket, but it looks like you can get it from specialist butchers, and it's basically a really tender cut from the cow's shoulder. 2 steaks are usually around 400 grams and they're relatively high in fat, so this meaty lunch is 920 calories.
This is what happens when you only eat meat and no carbohydrates. You forget to eat.
Generally speaking, she is right. This kind of fatty meat can take twice as long as simple carbs to digest, so you do tend to feel fuller for much longer. But that doesn't necessarily mean you forget to eat. It just means you don't need to eat yet because you've already consumed more energy. There are also lots of complex carbs like oats, beans, and even some veg that do take longer to break down and keep you full too.
But then around dinner time, I made me and my boyfriend a chuck steak and some lamb chops. I should have honestly made more because this could have just been for me, but it was really delicious. He cut up the steak because I suck at cutting up steaks, and this was my portion. I ate a little bit of his at the end because he didn't finish his, but that was basically everything I ate today. Bye.
Lamb chops vary in calories between 200 and 240, depending on the part of the animal, so I've gone in the middle at 220 calories. Then we've got a chuck steak. A big joint like this is usually 1 kilogram, so for half of that it's 1,150 calories. The day ends on 2,290 calories. This is slightly more than is needed, but all I can honestly think about is how she gets her actual nutrients. Never mind the fact that this is literally 0 grams of fibre, which is pretty essential for having a smooth exit, if you know what I mean.
Here is another what I eat in a day, 5 months postpartum, back down to pre-pregnancy weight. Now, I am a mom of 2 now, and life is just busy. Some days I have a lot of time to cook, and other days I don't.
I'm going to warn you guys now, this person is marketing themselves as a keto oracle, so the entire audio for her video is a marketing spiel. Her breakfast looks to be around 3 scrambled eggs for 195 calories, plus 2 rashers of streaky bacon for 90.
Most days, my meals are so simple, so quick, and so easy. And this was one of the biggest things when I became a keto coach, is that I knew I needed to make my recipes this fast, this simple, and this quick. Because let me tell you, over half of my clients are moms.
I'm really a big fan of taking my favourite foods and making healthier versions, so this low-calorie pizza speaks to me. She has a Mission low-carb tortilla wrap for 125 calories, 2 tablespoons of passata for 15, about 40 grams of grated mozzarella for 120, then 12 slices of pepperoni for 150, making this whole pizza 410 calories. I think it's also important to point out that she is marketing this lifestyle as a way to get back to her pre-baby body when she's only a few months postpartum, but strict keto is not recommended for people who are breastfeeding. So if any mums are taking inspiration from this baby body bounce back, which I hate anyway as a principle, please make sure you're doing what is right for you and your baby, not what a woman trying to sell you something says will make you skinny.
Who are busy. They work multiple jobs. They have multiple kids, and I get that. So all of the recipes I eat and my clients eat are so simple because it makes weight loss so realistic.
For dinner, this looks like a keto-friendly version of enchiladas. We've got 2 more tortillas for 250 calories and 2 servings of pulled pork for 440 as the main component. Then on top, there's a smothering of barbecue sauce, but being keto, it'll be no sugar, so probably relatively low calories at about 60 for 6 tablespoons, according to similar recipes. We've also got a sprinkle of mixed cheese for 85 calories and some black olives for 20. That ends the day on a total intake of 1,895 calories.
I'm going to show y'all what I eat in a day on clean keto with having PCOS. So, let's go.
PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and it affects approximately 1 in 10 women, so it's fairly common. We all know that women's health is an area of medicine that is massively neglected, so it's really common for people to seek dietary and lifestyle changes to help ease symptoms. Keto is often recommended for people with PCOS because it helps improve resistance to insulin, which is one of the core issues they face. So for this breakfast, we've got 3 scrambled eggs for 195 calories, 3 strawberries for 15, and about 5 slices of prosciutto for 90 calories. Her afternoon is full of veggies. We've got 1 cup of green beans for 35 calories, 1 cup of mushrooms for 15, and 2 cups of kale for 70. She also has a chicken breast for 250 calories, and that is topped with homemade ranch. I found a couple of keto-friendly recipes online that average to 50 calories per tablespoon, and this looks like 2 of those. For the salad, we've obviously got a big plate of lettuce for only 30 calories. Then I think she's got a couple of chopped up tomatoes for 44, around half a cup of bacon bits for 160 calories, then at least 2 tablespoons of some mayo-based sauce for 180. The chicken schnitzel is keto friendly, which means it's made with almond flour rather than pre-made breadcrumbs, so that comes out at 370 calories. The total for the day is 1,434, which I think is right around the mark to lose about £1 per week.
So what I eat in a day is a 45-year-old mom of 3 who feels and looks better than ever. Let's go.
I start the day off with 2 big cups of coffee and I top it with cream, stevia, cinnamon, and vanilla.
These keto coffees are made with heavy cream. She doesn't show herself making them, but people seem to use about 1 tablespoon per coffee. So for 2, it's 110 calories.
For breakfast, it was my go-to 2 hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese, and half of an avocado.
I see so many people adding cottage cheese to things like scrambled eggs for extra protein, and I have tried so hard, but something about the texture does not sit well for me. 1 cup of it is 160 calories, then we've got half an avocado for 130 and 2 eggs also for 130.
Here's my daily cheese and apples. I tend to eat this almost every single day, and people always ask me what cheese I like. This is one of my favorites from Sprouts. It's the Organic Valley Grass Milk Raw Sharp Cheddar Cheese. I'm having about 4 thin little slices, and I've got a whole Honeycrisp apple here. I will eat the whole thing.
The Honeycrisp apple is 95 calories, and then she's got 4 slices of cheese, but to me these aren't thin. I'd probably go that thick if I were making a cheese toastie, but for a sandwich or something, my cheese slices are about half of hers. Is that just me? This whole block of cheese is 8 ounces, and I think 4 thick slices are a quarter of the block for 230 calories. Also, my only knowledge or experience of raw milk products is when they nearly get arrested for selling it in Schitt's Creek. So I've probably naively assumed that it's not legal in food, but clearly that was wrong. It doesn't seem to change the nutritional value though, but apparently it does change the flavour and the bacterial properties.
And it's 10:44. Favorite thing is to make a little cheese sandwich with the apple slices. If you cut them really thin, so good. Okay, so I'm eating my lunch in my car today. Hopefully I don't get it on my white jeans, but this is what I have. Just my usual, some microgreens, about a half a cup of cottage cheese, some ground beef I prepped over the weekend, sweet potatoes I also prepped over the weekend, and I've got about a quarter of an avocado here, sprinkled with some Redmond sea salt and olive oil.
That looks more like 1 cup of cottage cheese to me, but she's the chef, so I won't argue. I've added another half a cup to the total, as well as an extra quarter to the avocado. I'm not sure if it's the same in the US, but in the UK, minced beef comes in 3 standard fat percentages, 5, 12 and 20. So unless they say lean, I always assume 12% fat. and for 150 grams that would be 250 calories, plus 110 for a medium sweet potato and just 5 for the microgreens.
This is what I get for freeloading off Trader Joe's. I get a crappy wooden fork. Is this what they're giving out now?
And to satisfy my sweet tooth, I had 6 large medjool dates.
Just ending the day with some elderberry lemon balm tea. It's for immune and stress because I feel a little tickle in my throat and a little stressed out. Maybe that's just the basketball going nonstop in my backyard. But anyways, good night.
The herbal tea is no calories, but the 6 medjool dates are 420. I don't know if anyone else has gone from being vegan to non-vegan, but I used to be one of those people that would swear to my friends that dates tasted exactly like caramel. And now that I eat real caramel again, I understand completely why I lost all of my credibility in recommending food. Her total intake for the day is 1,840 calories.
What I eat in a day, meat-based keto. Start my day off with coffee. I do Nespresso pods. Usually I put some Lugol's iodine in there. Sometimes I use stevia. I use lactose-free milk. And then when I'm hungry, I usually eat eggs for breakfast. Today I had scrambled eggs and butter with smoked salt.
I'll be honest, I listened 3 times and still struggled to get to grips with exactly what is in her coffee, but I believe the only thing that would have calories is the lactose-free milk. She did label this day as keto, but this kind of milk is actually not keto friendly. So I think this diet might be more of the carnivore kind, so bear that in mind for the rest of her food. 100 millilitres of lactose-free whole milk is 65 calories, the 3 eggs are 195, and then if we assume 1.5 tablespoons of butter for the eggs, breakfast totals at 410 calories.
Then when I got hungry later in the day, I had some burger patties, and I topped those with some mild cheddar, and they were freaking amazing. Then I had chorizo and queso dip. It's literally just chorizo with queso. And then I used beef brisket chips to dip. And
rather than one main lunch meal, she snacks across 2 smaller meals. For the first one, we've got 4 burger patties for 220 calories each. She's got 4 cheese slices across them. They look like burger cheese to me, but she says they're cheddar, so that is 100 calories per slice. For the dip, I'd say that's 1 cup in total. So if we say half a cup of chorizo and half a cup of queso cheese sauce, it comes out at 540 calories. It's impossible to say how much of the beef brisket she had, but we'll guess at 1/4 of the bag, which is 25 grams for 65 calories.
And then that night I had some more cheeseburgers with onions, and I also made mozzarella chips, primal steak sauce on the side. That's my full day of eating. Bye.
I've added in another 2 burgers and another 2 cheese slices to the total. Then this time she's got half a white onion and 2 tablespoons of primal steak sauce for 20 calories each. For the mozzarella chips, it looks like she's sliced up a standard mozzarella ball, which would make it 125 grams for 310 calories. The day ends on 3,135 calories, which means that if this person isn't actively gaining weight, they're either exercising away 1,000 calories per day or they don't eat like this.
Hey guys, I'm Lulu and here's what I ate in a day on the keto diet, starting with a big drink bottle of electrolytes. This is the brand of electrolyte BCAA powder that I use. It has 0 grams of carbs and 0 calories. Normally I skip breakfast and fast for the morning, but today I checked my veggie garden and found these 3 little strawberries that were ready for picking, so I ate those.
We know the drill by now with berries. 3 strawberries are 15 calories.
They're only small, so about 1 gram net carbs in total. For lunch, I finally got my hands on these Farrah's keto-friendly wraps, so I am trying those out as a quesadilla, just with mayo and grated cheese in the middle, and then frying it in the frying pan. It turned out so delicious, honestly, highly recommend.
This brand of low-carb tortilla are 87 calories each, which is much less than the Mission brand we saw earlier for 125. Then she has a lot of mayo spread in there. I would say 2 tablespoons per wrap. So 4 in total for 400 calories, plus a big heap of cheese, I'm guessing 60 grams for 240 calories.
And this totaled about 5 grams net carbs for lunch. Afternoon snack while I'm working from home is just this little handful of almonds, which probably works out about 2 grams net carbs.
As a snack, she has 35, and yes, I did count them, almonds for 245 calories.
I did do a quick little easy workout in the home gym with my partner after work, and then we had a swim, so I made sure to drink tons and tons of water to rehydrate after that. For dinner, I'm having this avocado ranch bagged coleslaw. I really like this one. I usually just leave out the little bag of like dried corn because that probably makes the carbs a bit higher, but I use the dressings and stuff that comes in the bag. And I'm also having some mutton chops that my dad gave me. I'm just baking those with salt. This totals around 5 to 6 grams net carbs, really just from the salad.
The salad kit, including dressings, is 455 calories for the whole bag. I have no idea how much corn is in that tiny packet, so I haven't taken that off. I'd never heard of mutton chops before, other than it being a style of facial hair where sideburns go all the way down to the chin. Turns out it's just sheep meat. Looking online, the calories of mutton and lamb are pretty much the same, so this is just 6 lamb chops for 1,320 calories.
For dessert, I'm having 2 of these low sugar chocolate coconut clusters. This probably works out about 2 grams net carbs for these, which I'm just having in bed while watching Netflix. So my total for the day is about 16 grams of net carbs. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
I've noticed when looking up Australian products, it's really common to only list the kilojoules and no mention of calories. If any of you are Australian, are calories not your standard food measurement? These chocolate clusters are 152 calories each, which ends her day at 3,123 calories. Well, I personally found that one really interesting. It seems like one of the main advantages in terms of consumption is that you really don't have to eat lean, so indulgent foods that are typically excluded for a diet focused on weight loss are not off limits. But on the flip side, because of this, you'd need to eat really small portions to be in a calorie deficit. Obviously, if it's compatible with your body to help combat an inflammatory disease or something similar, I totally get it. But I have to say, as a weight loss diet, I don't really see the hype. I also saw a lot of comments on these videos from people saying that while they ate like this, they dropped weight quicker than ever before. But as soon as they went back to eating a regular diet, they gained it back and are now struggling to lose it with any method other than keto. Obviously, that's just anecdotal, but I thought it was interesting. I'll see you back here on Saturday for our What I Eat in a Day weekly roundup, so make sure you subscribe to catch that video and leave me a comment if you have an idea for the themed video next week.